Hi Libra, and welcome to your April 2019 general reading. So before I shuffle the main deck, I'm going to pull you an additional guidance card. Okay. Oh, now you got the new life. Okay. I also kept seeing a card flashing, and it was the card of mending. Okay, so that might be a message for a few people watching. Mending talks obviously about healing the bond between you and someone else. Okay, so some of you that might be really, really relevant. So the card flashed and then it went again. And the other card that's come up is the card of new life. My decks just fell in, didn't it? So new life is very, very apt for the month of April. It sort of represents the Aries season. It's the season of birthing. It's the astrological new year as well. It's a card that's came up for quite a lot of people in the month of April. So sort of ride the Aries. Libra, I'm really, really sorry. It's because I was thinking of Aries. Really, really ride this energy of new beginnings. It's a little bit like the Ace of Wands. There's passion, determination to birth yourself, to come out of the winter season, to shred old identities and move forward to a new life, okay? So some of you might be doing mending that's leading to this birth of new life energy. But very, very beautiful card. And I'm sure the rest of the reading will make sense around this mending and this new life. So please give me straightforward messages for the sign of Libra, so Libra can best navigate the month of April. So what lies behind you? Okay, so the death card is behind you. That's shredding an old skin, and it's very interesting because you don't get the new life unless you shred the old identity. It can mean some of you have been in a little bit of a dark night. I have found a lot of people with this Mercury retrograde have been in a little bit of a what I call the dark night of the soul, sort of feeling that that you're ready to birth something new. And this makes sense for the death card and then the magician, because the magician holds all the aces. And the aces are about new life and new beginnings. Some of you are clearly moving forward, shredding an old identity and moving on. The death card is also Scorpio. And Scorpio represents that energy of mending. So it's a very, very interesting combination of cards. Extremely powerful energy to move into April with. So what you most want is the Seven of Wands. Okay, boundaries. The Five of Cups is your supportive energy that's helping you get the Seven of Wands. So let me explain in a minute. Challenge is the Seven of Swords. Wheel of Fortune as how other people are showing up for you. Ooh, that's an interesting card. Money and Work, Ten of Discs. Very, very nice, guys. Two of Wands at a soul position, and I think the soul position is about mending, and this combination of cards in the middle here. Two sevens. The sevens are all about personal mastery, but they're not without their challenges, so give me a minute. And the Hermit is the mending energy, by the way, sort of almost, because he represents that wisdom, that wise energy within us. I'm going to pull you another card. Tell me more about the Hermit though. Yeah, or the Six of Pentacles. That is the energy of mending. Because you can never mend something if you're not in your own centre and if you're not in your own wisdom. If you think of a living, that's sort of the energy of here, because two people need to be in their own centre before a mending can happen, which is what the Six of Pentacles is about with the Hermit card. These are an interesting combination of cards. And they would speak to me, Libra, of some of you is maybe at a crossroads around some emotional issues. Now the Five of Cups is the gift. And because it's the gift, it means things are beginning to move. There's a flow of energy, because when Five of Cups is a challenge, it sort of talks about being in a state of grief and nothing's moving, but it's the gift, which means there's some sort of change going on here. Now what you most want is the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is about boundaries and self-esteem, because to have boundaries you need self-esteem, limit lines, what is acceptable to you and what is not. So some of you are really sort of renegotiating your contracts. And contracts can be anything. It can be relationships, it can be work contracts, but it's a renegotiation based on maybe it's been some previous hurt, but this hurt seems to have been processed and you're now standing up in quite high self-esteem, Libra. Love seeing you this way, okay? Because that challenging side of Libra is about having very strong boundaries. You know, bring in that Aries impulse of self-definition. Okay, so the Seven of Wands isn't a shut door. The door is now open. But because of this Five of Cups as the gift, it's almost, I think some of you have maybe been in a little bit of suffering here. And it's now your gift, which means you've transmuted the suffering into a personal sense of authority. Now bear with me, Libra, this will make sense, because the Seven of Swords is the challenge. The Seven of Swords is a little bit of an archway card. Some of you aren't sure whether to go back into something or keep walking forward. Yeah, the image tells the story. And shall I go back, shall I go forward? But it's also a shadow card in that there's a little bit of stuff not been spoke about here. With that Seven of Swords, I call it a shadow card, because you know that sort of grey area. There's a lot of grey area. You want things more straight up. Because the Five of Cups is the gift, it would say to me that you've obviously been working through an awful lot of emotions, regrets from the past, ways of being, and you're now growing into someone with much more boundary lines and this sense of authority, that this is what I'll accept and this is what I want. And you don't want to accept Seven of Swords energy, which is someone sometimes not being in their truth. Yeah, so remember, we co-create a reality. If you don't want anyone to be in the shadows, don't you be in it. So you need to sit in Satnam, they call it, which is the truth of your own identity. And because of this energy, and it's the gift, I would say a lot of you have been transmuting a lot of personal pain. And it's a little bit like some Libras, well, I ain't putting up with that crap anymore. Our relationships are going to be this way, and you either meet me that way or there's no relationship. Now, how other people are showing up for you is the Wheel of Fortune, which is a very exciting card to show up in your relationships, because the wheel always turns in the position that it falls in. There's what's that word? Something is about to turn around in your relationships. And I think you are the prime instigator of this. And I think also, Libra, you might have got to the Wheel of Fortune because of past pain and some disappointments that happen. And that's when our pain becomes our purpose. And we use things to rewrite the story of our relationships, because the Wheel of Fortune talks about rewriting your relationships. And it's going to be definitely based on boundaries. So I really, really like this, by the way, for you. Tell me more about why the Wheel of Fortune is showing up here in your relationships. Okay, give me a minute to shuffle the cards. Ooh, Ace of Cups, that blessed love. But it's also about your heart and mind coming into alignment. Because when our heart and mind come into alignment, we cannot not be in the truth. And it's the truth that sets us free. And it's the truth that gets the universal forces to begin to work on our behalf. And I can't help thinking about that mending card. I think that's a really, there's some sort of healing going on in your relationships. Money and work, you get the Ten of Pentacles. So I think some of you might be getting some good financial news. Okay. This is some sort of completion of something. And it looks like it's coming to a very healthy completion. I am noticing the Five of Cups as the gift over it. So this might be good news that's came through some past suffering. Okay. Soul position, Two of Wands. So I still a little bit of uncertainty about the way forward. But that is an obvious meaning of this card. But I find, because the guy's already got the ace in his hand, so in reality you do know what you want. So quite often the Two of Wands is actually about courage, to keep walking. And sometimes we're asked to walk down a path, the road less travelled. So when we get to the Two of Wands, it's about courage and assertiveness in order to get out of the Seven of Swords energy, which is about uncertainty, a little bit of feeling people aren't being straightforward with you and honest, and coming out of the shadows. You might be asked to act very courageously, Libra, and very much move into your Aries polarity of assertiveness, knowing the direction of your life. Now the outcome is the Hermit with the Six of Pentacles. This is about the healing energy between two people. There is no other way around it. I quite often find these cards together when maybe there's two people and they're trying to get authentic and real around a situation. They might be seeking external support to aid in that process of authenticity. Very interesting card. It almost seems like some of you have potentially been in some sort of dark night. The dark night has been very, very normal for this Mercury retrograde. I've had to work with it an awful lot. It generally means when there's one phase of our life is ready to come to an end, so we can birth a new life. And that's where the Five of Cups is showing up as the gift, because it's saying that everything that you've gone through is about, you're beginning to understand the why. And also what I'm picking up, Libra, is, yeah, Queen of Wands, clarifying it. The Queen of Wands is about confidence and self-esteem. And with that Seven of Wands, it's very much, this is what I'll accept, and this is what I will not accept. And I definitely will not accept the shadowy Seven of Swords energy. I don't always read the Seven of Swords as a bad card, but quite often it represents people in your life who will not move out of the grey areas. And if we're with people in our lives that don't move out of this grey area, it becomes our issue. And I think some of you are saying, no, no more for me. You meet me in my truth, or the truth of this situation, or I won't meet you at all. So I really, really like it, Libra. I also do weekly readings, so if you want to subscribe, it lets you know. If you want a private reading with me, my email is in the About section. And something very interesting happening here. Be in your power. That's what the Queen of Wands is. She's about someone who's in her own power and ain't accepting any crap from anyone. And it's when we get to that point, Libra, it's always a little bit of a rocky road, because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going into new territory. But that's how the wheel will turn for you. Okay? Loads of love. Speak to you later. Bye.